Craig here from VCA Lakeside Animal Hospital and LePaudLife.com to remind you that heat stroke is no joke. This dog required immediate veterinary care and fortunately made it, but countless others don't. Stick with us and we're going to share with you our 5 tips and tricks to avoid heat stroke in your trail dog this summer. Number 1. Know your trails. Try to pick a trail that's got plenty of shade and appropriate gains for the day. If you choose something that's wide open, exposed, and steep, you're just going to drive your dog's effort, which is going to drive your dog's body temperature. And I always try to pick a trail I know, which will eliminate unknown variables and potential risks for heat stroke. And finally, I carry an extra water bottle so that if I need to, I can soak him in water at any time to help bring his body temperature down. 2. Know your dog. If your dog's got long hair or a chubby waistline or maybe a squished in nose, then they're going to be at a higher risk for heat-related problems. If they've got heart disease or arthritis, you're really going to have to be careful about having them on trail. Dogs don't cool down like we do by sweating, so they have to pant to take off any extra heat. That means you're going to need to take a lot of breaks and small amounts of water. Don't ever let your dog drink heavy amounts of water. When they fill up their stomach with either food or water, it makes the stomach heavy and it has more of a tendency to flip over on itself and cause a condition called bloat. That's a true medical emergency that you don't want to be dealing with in the backcountry. 3. Know your weather. Depending on where you live, weather conditions can change pretty rapidly. Even the loss of a little cloud cover can raise temperatures to dangerous levels. We tend to ride in the early morning or the late afternoon when temperatures are lower. 4. Know your symptoms. It's sometimes hard to tell on trail dogs because you're exercising, and so heart rates and respiratory rates are already elevated. I tend to look at my dog's mouth quite a bit. If there's a lot of saliva, excessive amounts, if the gums are bright red or brick red and the tongue is excessively wide, we're working hard and it's probably time to take a break. As the symptoms progress, dogs may begin to stumble and collapse. They will seek out shade. In worst case scenarios, they will have seizures and diarrhea and vomiting. So in those situations, you need to stop immediately, contact a veterinarian and get that dog off the trail. I carry a rectal thermometer and I check my dog's temperature whenever I think that there's a concern. Normals for a dog are between 100 and 102.5. Once you cross over to 103, you're in the danger zone. At 104 and 105, you're in the critical zone and you need to seek immediate veterinary care. 5. Know what to do. On our bike rides, we can get pretty far from civilization pretty fast, and it can be pretty hard to find help in a crisis. So when I'm riding with the dogs, I tend to take a lot slower pace, we take a lot more breaks, and we stick pretty close to home in case we have a problem. If I think that I've gotten to a situation where the dogs are overheating, the first thing we do is we find a shady spot and we stop for a long time. I take off any boots or backpacks that they may have and I offer them water, but I don't force water on them. If there's a stream nearby, I'll let them soak for as long as they want, and then I'll check their temperature like I mentioned before and make sure it's back down into a normal range before we start again. If you have a crisis on trail like that, try to phone a friend and see if you can get a ride out. Try and contact your local emergency clinic or your primary veterinarian and see if they have any advice for you, and definitely follow up with them when you get off trail to make sure everything's okay. And that's it. Just remember that your dog's counting on you to make all the smart choices. So with a little bit of common sense, you should be able to enjoy miles of smiles. For more tips and tricks, why don't you check out the rest of our videos here on YouTube and subscribe. For more in-depth discussions, check out our podcast on iTunes. Otherwise, may your trails be filled with tails. See ya.